Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's December 1st, 2023, 9:30 in the morning. Market just opened 30 seconds ago, and we're here to look for something to trade. So I hope you guys had a good trading day the previous day. But right now, just looking at what SPY is doing. SPY is an inside bar, and let me move my pen right here. All right, so SPY is an inside bar. It's opening inside yesterday's candlestick. Pre-market low and pre-market high is those level. So that is my SPY. I am watching a couple of stocks today. Let's look at what coin is doing. I am also going to be putting my level in coin. Bitcoin had been doing quite well. So coin is a Bitcoin sector. So also this one just went above yesterday's high. Next one is D-Dog do not have any volume right now. And then AMD, wow, AMD had a big move yesterday. So pre-market low here is at 119.75 and the high is at 121. So that is our AMD. Pfizer has a good move as well here. It's a gap down move. So pre-market low right there and pre-market high. This one had already formed an opening range breakdown. And then of course NVIDIA, same sector as AMD, pre-market low 464 and pre-market high at 469. Roku does not have a lot of volume, so we are not going to be watching Roku today. Next one is Tesla. Tesla, their Cybertruck that's just all over the news, and let's see, it is from the daily gap down. So that's probably one of those stocks that the news is already baked in. SE eventually had a good push down yesterday, but yesterday not as, let's see, 2 days ago had a good move to the downside, but not as good as yesterday. So that is SE. What else are we watching? We're going to be watching Dell. Dell is a gap down, already had formed a opening range breakdown. All right, so that is the level for Dell. CLSK is a gap down as well, down by 6%. So pre-market low is here and our pre-market high is at 6.29, not including the wick there. So that is CLSK. Anything going on with PATH? PATH is a very strong stock. It is up by 18%, already formed an opening range. Let's see, almost about to break that high of the day. So that is our levels there. So SPY. So strategy today is, let's look at what the SPY is doing. There is a news coming out at 10. Powell will be speaking at 10 as well as at 2 in the afternoon today. So it will be interesting what to see or what he will do to the stock market. AMD got a rejection there already. That low of yesterday acted as a ceiling, and then now we're heading lower. Yeah, AMD have never looked back since this had reached that bottom at 93.11. All right, so I don't have any opening range breakdown or breakout setup, and I am not going to be doing any trades, not until the dust had settled, and our goal today is look for an easy trade. So AMD here looks like still has a room to go down. We still have a bunch of orders at the bid. So AMD here. All right, still is going to 119 here. Pfizer already created this huge drop here. Still is gonna head lower. Nvidia, CLSK is another gap down. Not as fluid as Pfizer though. What Pfizer had been doing is, if SE does not have a lot of volume. And let's see what coin or AMD is going to be doing. Did it reach the SPY? Is okay, inside bar here, AMD here. Looking at our pivot point here in the 15. So what happened yesterday was it lost its R3 and S4. And then today we are below R3 and S3 as well. This one looking weak on the daily. It's hard to trade AMD today because this can just go either direction. It can just break the support here, 119.23. The easy trade here happened yesterday with that inverted hammer. But not having that inverted hammer, it's the third day. This can just go either direction. So AMD is not giving us an easy setup. So we should look for an easier setup. What is Amazon doing? Amazon is also an inside bar. Dell here after touching 68.54, having a little bit of a pop. Let's see what did Dell had. Beats estimate, so yeah, had earnings could have been baked in already. So let's see here. So yeah, with this gap down, you know that we're gonna be short bias on this. It is above the VWAP. It is now at that moving average at the daily. There's no trades to take there. CLSK is a float of 145 million, so definitely not a low float stock here. I don't like how it looks like in the 15 minutes pre-market. Plus, it's a cheap price stock. The good entry here could have been at 6.19 short there, so around this, but it already happened at the post as well as the pre-market. Let's see, coin. I don't really have a lot of. All right, how about Path? Path is a gap up by 16%, float of 417 million, so not a low float stock. This is an interesting stock. We did had our levels there already. So it touched the pre-market low, 22.23. So yeah, the reason why I'm choosing Path is this is a gap up and the rest of the stock is an inside bar. Although AMD is not an inside bar, it's actually a gap down, but 2 days ago it already developed this inverted hammer, so the easy trade happened yesterday. So I'm not keen into trading AMD. And then with SPY, let's look at SPY here. It's still an inside bar. We're still at the VWAP here. Looks like just waiting for the news. This one is about to create an opening range breakout, although it is forming in the 15 minutes. I am thinking of doing a long on this stock. Let's see, risk here 23.40, 23.38. Let's see here, just a small position here, just because, let's see, it has a big wick. I don't like when a stock has a big wick right there, just because having a big wick means you're gonna have to risk a lot. But I am entering with a small position. So small position there, trying to see if this one still has the momentum to go out up. The thing that I'm seeing here is the pushed up right here has not a lot of volume. So I am just gonna give this one a risk of just below the VWAP, 22.95. I am not even gonna be using the wick just because the wick is so long that means I will be giving it a lot of room and a lot of risk. So I am using just a little below this VWAP, 22.9 as my stop loss there. Let's see here. Yeah, it is struggling. That level right there is the pre-market high. So if it passed through the pre-market high, then we do have a higher probability here that this can create a momentum. But what I can see as well, again, is the volume is not there. So we have to be very careful with this. Let's see if it's smart to add to this position. Okay, so just added to my position there. My average cost with that add is 23.45. 23.45, so not the best add there. So this one again can go either direction, so we have to be very careful with it. And just like what I mentioned, I am not even going to be using the wick as a stop loss. Stop loss here is just going to be below the VWAP right here. So 22, just willing to risk 22.90 for this. All right, so we just passed through that resistance right there. We do have 23.80 right here, which is going to be the next destination there if that one gets filled. Let's see here. So path here. We do have some bunch of prints of reds there, so we have to take that into consideration. And let's see. So 15 minutes looking good. We have a big volume at 23.80. What I noticed though is you need to be aggressive as well in some partialing and moving your stop loss to break even, because this kind of stock can just go either direction. And the last thing that you want is your trade that is already green to work against you. So you want to secure some profit and then let the rest run. So right now I'm not risking any of my capital here because I did take some partial with that level when it was struggling there, and I have now moved my stop loss above my break even. So even if this stock work against me, I am not gonna lose anything at all here. So now we were able to capture that move. This is the 2020 is always a hindsight. We could have added more to this position, but you know, we just get to manage what this stock is going to give us. So while looking at this one, looking at some other stock, the next destination here is 23.80. So looking at the tape as well as the level 2 here, tape here 23.75, 23.70. So our 5 minutes here looking very bullish. We still need to pick up, there you go, some volume here. So this can look even better, but 23.90 is building up here. It is gonna flash to 24. So next destination here is 24. So at this point, is it wrong to take some partial? Not at all. Imagine that taking partial is always, protecting your capital, as well as, not letting your trade go against you. So next destination here is 24. We're just struggling there. Bunch of orders went through 23.9, but expect some consolidation here. That's totally normal. A lot of profit takers are there as well, but looks like we're heading to 24. So did we touch the 24 earlier? So next ceiling here is 24. Once we touch 24, which is likely will happen, because we do have a bunch of orders sitting right here, then this can still pick up some steam. So right now I'm just trailing my stop here. Not gonna let this one go against me. Order is still right there at 24. So 24 is still there. And looks like we're heading to 24. 23.90. We're now printing 23.93.95 and waiting for this order to get filled so we can pop to 24. So almost at the 24 right here. 24. Let's see, 24 there is there still. 93. Waiting for this order to get filled. Now imagine that this order can also just get canceled. So you have to look at the prints and the tape. There was a big order in the 23.70 that passed through there. So let's see. So trail our stop here. 24. We're heading to 24. Highly likely that we're gonna go there. 92. It is struggling there. How long is this gonna? We have 2 more minutes before our next 5 minutes candlestick can form, which is, let's see, if the 5 minutes candlestick is still gonna go to form a higher high, higher low, then that would be a good probability that this is still gonna pick up some steam here to the upside. So 24 is still there. Bunch of orders went through to 24. So yeah, we're gonna get there. All right, bunch of orders passed through there as well. Stop loss is just this level, very close to getting stop out. Let's see, 24 got filled there, and then after the 24 got filled, there was some rejection that happened. So majority of my shares was already filled at this. So let's see if this one still has a pushed up. It still has some 24 right here. And while looking at that, let's look at AMD. I am looking at AMD for a short. I was short biased at AMD to begin with, but it needs to be close to this level. So let's see here. Stop loss is 121. All right, just doing a small position to the short with AMD. Still have a little bit of orders left here with BATH. AMD, I just entered with a small position. Let's see if it's gonna. All right, so AMD had formed that inverted hammer in the 5 minutes. Not a lot of volume bar there though, so we have to consider that. Path is struggling here, so if Path creates so this is the first red candlestick with Path. So with that, I am all out with Path. AMD, I added to my position to the short there. So short AMD here. was hoping that I get to add more, but I was closing the rest of my position in path, so did not get to add. But this one is heading the VWAP, and yeah, we got a good entry at AMD because we were right there at the moving average. We're now struggling at the VWAP. Is it wrong to take some partial? Not at all, because this one can still go either direction. So yeah, the strategy that I've been doing so far is doing some partial, just because right now those scalpers are actually getting more consistency. Look at what Path did. As soon as we get all out here, now we got the rejection. Path is also shortable, but it is so strong that it is so risky to short Path. So let's manage our AMD trade now. So AMD, SPY is just at the VWAP, so this one can just be at the VWAP as well. I was hoping that AMD can still go to around this level so I can add to this position, but right now it's too late to add. So I am just gonna let this, yeah, my original position there, I am just keeping it. All right, so I do not see any imbalance right here though, so I don't like that. There is 120.19 here, so likely that it will go to that level. Path is still heading lower. We're missing, there's a big 120.4 that went through. So with the average cost that I have here, it's 120.71. So yeah, we did get a good entry here to the short. There's still a lot of bid stacking up here. Struggling at the VWAP, that is expected. SPY is now above the VWAP, so we have to consider that. And let's see here, 120, still a lot of order sitting right here though. So with that, Path had a good rejection right here. That could have been a good re-entry at 23, but I am watching AMD here, so did not get to re-enter Path. But Path could have been a good re-entry to 23 here. AMD, let's see, waiting for another little bit of a pop with AMD so I can add. I did not get to add to my position, but it has some order sitting right here at the ask, which can pretty much make that little bit of a pop. So with that, let's see. Still has, okay, so I covered some there. So cover some position with AMD. That was a big move right there. Let's cover some. All right, so with AMD, we are at, yeah, this one, still a bunch of red sitting right here. So AMD still has some potential to go down. Not a froth. So with AMD, I did take partial there. So with just a very small position here, but I will lower this one lower than my break even, just so I don't turn this one into a losing trade. But yeah, this one looks like it still has some room to go down. Path, interesting. Path, although it had that shoot up 23, it is still struggling here with a volume that is this much. Yeah, looks like this tides are turning here. The good entry here could be at 9 EMA. Okay, so let's manage our AMD trade here, lowering this one down. Still has some a lot of room to go here. Wish I could have more shares here. What else is there? Amazon. Amazon is an inside bar. It already created this. This one could have been a good short. Did not get to All right, AMD still working in our favor here. So we were able to capture that drop. And then what else is moving? Pfizer is nice as well. But what I would like Pfizer to do is create a 9 EMA here where it will touch 9 EMA and then drop. But right now it's not doing that. So trailing our stop. So now my stop is just, it is struggling with that level 119.87. That is the low of this body. So let's see here. So not gonna allow this one to turn against me. That's why just trailing our stop here. So almost, let's see what else is moving. Dell is interesting. Dell is the 5 minutes. We are now at the high of the day. So we can have a rejection with Dell with that. So given that Dell is forming, I don't mind having to get stop out of AMD because I would like to enter Dell to the short. So waiting for Dell. So this one, let's just trail our stop here. All right, so for Dell, I'm waiting for this one to go below 71.59. 71.59 will be a good place to short. So oh boy, it just went there. So not the best short there. It went so quick that, yeah, so the average cost that I have there is with Dell. Let's see. So Dell already moved good. 71.45 is the average cost. 45. So this one is my average cost in Dell. 45. Okay. Right here. So Dell is already moving. AMD trailing my stop here. So I like when Powell is about to speak because he just creates some volatility, and that's always is a good thing as a trader. So with Dell, let's see here, we have to be very careful, just like what we've been doing with the rest of our trades here. So we were able to time Dell here because we tested the high of the day, and then now we are at the VWAP. This actually moved pretty quickly. As soon as I enter, then it just dropped right there. We are at the VWAP. Expect some consolidation that can happen there. But at the same time, let's see. We have a bunch of orders sitting right there. So let's cover some and then move our stop loss lower than my break even so we don't turn this one into a losing trade. Going back to AMD, AMD is just working nicely here. So we just trail our stop with AMD. So all green trades today. What did Path do? Path, I think Path easy trade in Path is finished. So Dell, waiting for Dell to break the VWAP here. AMD just did that. So we are now below the VWAP of AMD, and we are testing the support here, the level 119.47. If that one kicks me out, then it is still gonna be a green trade. Struggling here. What is AMD? AMD about to, okay, I'm stopped out of AMD. Looks like, let's see, did we get the news somewhere? Dell here, about to stop me out as well. Oh, SPY just had a spike. So that's why it's very important that we get to have that trailing stop. But I'm still in with this. AMD just stopped me out because of that freaking wick. So AMD got that wick, stopped me out, and still heading lower. That's just how it is. just have to obey your stop loss. Um, but Dell working nicely here. Wow. I just realized 70.65. Dell actually has a huge spread. It's just so happened that wow, SPY. What is happening? What time is it? 10. All right, so Powell is speaking now. Did not even get to realize the time, but just because we're technical traders, we just go by how it looks and the technical level. So I did not even know that it's already 10, but just because we have that solid strategy of it's a gap down, it tested the high of the day, and you have that inverted hammer, and we shorted it there, and sure enough we were able to capture it. And of course it's already 10, so that is where Powell is going to be speaking, and looks like they're pumping SPY now. So even with SPY pumping, Dell is a different ball game, because Dell has breaking news today. I think it had beats its earning, but it was already baked in, so that's why we're still in this trade. So AMD is looking like it's one pushed up. So, and this one is still struggling here at the VWAP. There are a bunch of orders at the ask, so that can just see, yeah, all the way down here though, so that can still get canceled. We just created a new low there. SPY is pumping. All right, I like this Powell guy. Okay, so we have 3 minutes before this one forms. This one needs to make a decision to break 70.5. Otherwise, this one is just gonna pump higher, which SPY is just pumping higher. I'm looking at Pfizer as well. Pfizer is about to create the same thing that Dell created. So since my stop loss here, let me lower my stop loss. Since my stop loss is intact, let's look at Pfizer. Pfizer is about to create and tests the high of the day. I am short bias Pfizer. This is exactly what Dell did. You have a gap down, tested that level, and then shoot right back down. So with Pfizer, let's look at the daily. Daily VWAP is up there. So right from the get-go, this one is weak. Dell VWAP is even right here. So Dell is not even as, we're not even as confident as Dell to the short, because the VWAP is down here at the daily. So that means this can still be strong. So look at what it did. AMD stopped me out and still moving down. So yeah, that's how trading works. Always have to obey your stop loss. Dell here. Okay, so this one struggling at the VWAP. I don't like that. Yeah, what is this? 70.48, 70.89. I'm actually risking here. My entry is all the way up here. I am just trailing my stop loss here. All right, Pfizer is about to create a double top, and I am short bias with Pfizer. AMD is still heading lower, but it stopped me out. We have 10 seconds. Oh boy, so that stopped me out there. So just a small position there, and yep, all out. All right, so let's see what else is out there. All right, so 3 trades so far had been good. So 3 trades that were green. We could have made more if we were aggressive with our position, but just because the news is coming, yeah, not, oh boy, Tesla. Tesla looks like, okay. I don't like Tesla though because this can just go either direction as well. Momentum. Oh boy, so Pfizer, look at Pfizer. Did not even get the test of the high of today and it already is having that pullback. So yeah, this is a low probability trade. You still have a bunch of ask here. So what I want Pfizer to do is go to 29.03 before I even consider shorting this one. So yeah, with 3 trades that we did, small position, not a home run trade, but all green trades for today. So we did Path, Dell, and AMD. Let's look at other trades. Path. Look at this one. Yeah, the volume bar is not there though, but this can just be a runner for the day. Apple, not as good. Plug. With Plug here, it's not a low float. It is 539 million. I just don't like the daily. Daily doesn't look too good. Coin. Creating a high of the day. About to beat yesterday, 2 days ago high. That is looking strong. Pfizer did not give us the setup. What I was waiting for Pfizer was to retest this level. And then once it retests that level, then we can short it. But it already had that pullback, so did not give us the setup. But could have, look at this one. Plug, first candlestick, 422, 426, risking 0.04 cents. AMD, look at AMD here. AMD, we were able to time it, but that not 10 a.m. news just spiked, give us that wick, stop us out, but now this is heading lower. So this is the reason why when I was looking at Tesla, not confident at all to shorting that one, even if we have this, because of how, look at how tight the daily is. The daily you have your daily candlestick is there. It is a gap down right here, but you do have a lot of levels. Unlike this Dell that we were talking about, you have your candlestick right here, and it is a break off. So it's like a branch that break off from those levels, and that's the reason why you created a higher probability with that trade. So yeah, I think I'm done with my trade. CLSK is a float of 145 million. This one was so strong. Looks like the first time that it's gonna be having that pullback. Is this the all-time high? No, it was 7.51. It's a cheap price stock though, so for this one, it was so strong and still has a bunch of orders sitting right here, so that can still go in that direction. Oh wow, AMD is still heading lower, so we left at least 50 cents in the table, but this one can still head lower. So you should not be opening any positions with AMD right now. This can just have this as support, bounce back up, or still head lower, but you should not do any trade at this point. Okay, hold on. CLSK 6.8 here. There's still a bunch of orders sitting right here though. Plus it is almost like an all-time high for past couple of days. So this one can just be profit takers from 5.77 to all the way here. Not a lot of volume, so this one is just a profit takers there. Path created this. It's so hard to do a reversal with a strong stock, because a strong stock that had a gap up by 21.4% at 10:10, so just 40 minutes into the market open, this can just still push higher. So you don't want to short any of this at this time, especially if they are a gap up. You are trading against the trend and you don't want to do that. So Pfizer was not an A plus setup here. That's why I did not push the trigger. No trigger there to short, but look at this one. The reason why this one I did not enter it to the short is look at how close this thing is to your VWAP. So if you are close to your VWAP that much, that means your VWAP can act as a support as well. So this could have pretty much just bounced back up. So the good setup here was if you have your gap down and then it tested the high of today, created an inverted hammer at that time, you could have short that. We did not see that in Pfizer. Plus, you are so close to the VWAP that VWAP most of the time is my level of partial. So look at Dell. Dell gave us that setup. Dell is an A plus setup. You have a gap down. You have your selling. It got sold off at the open. It retested that high. At the first sign of reversal, which is this sign, you have the inverted hammer. We went short at that body of that inverted hammer. Stop loss right here and never looked back. Signs of reversal, went all out, but was able to capture that little bit of a move. Now, what we can see here, the first setup is always higher probability than the second setup. So one can argue, okay, we're developing another top here. That could be a triple top. Can we short that? With that volume average or this moving average is depleting, this probability right here is higher than this, because now what you'll see is that the momentum for this one to pushed up as well. It can also just short squeeze all those shorts. So the more tries it'll do to push up, the lesser or the higher risk it is that it will not gonna work. So we were saying about CLSK, why we don't want to short it, even if it's like an inverted or this reversal look, because of the daily. And looks like it just did what we have predicted that it will do. So that's how you stay away from those unnecessary getting chopped. Plug the same. I did not like the daily, so even if you have this, it's not an A plus setup, and look at what it's doing. Plus you don't have a lot of volume, so this one can just do some consolidation before it moved higher. AMD. AMD still heading lower. This is gonna head down. This is gonna head to 119.06 and still gonna break that low. But there's no edge here in trading this one now. All right, so another scan. Coin is getting interesting here. I just don't like the daily for a short, but look at this one. You have inverted hammer. Volume start to pick up when we're pushing higher. You do have this volume bar right here. This could pretty much, can be a scalp trade. You have 130 here, next destination there. I just don't like the daily. The daily looks like this is still gonna be so strong that, lower probability that this is gonna work. Trying to scan if there's any more easy trade that we can see. All right, let's look at Dell. Dell created that triple top. Big volume, not a lot of volume here. Big candlestick. Yeah, it's I cannot read this one. All right, so I guess yeah, we'll call it a day. So done with my trade. What time was the last trade that we did? I think the last trade that we did was Dell. So Dell was at 10:05. So yeah, almost like 30 minutes of trading and 30 minutes with 3K. So not bad for. Okay, look at this one. Three top and then rejection. Three top, then rejection. Yeah, it's SPY. Yeah, low probability here now. Let's see what SPY did. SPY losing the VWAP. Anything else that haven't lost VWAP with what we're watching? Coin. Yeah, I just don't have that much confidence with coin, so we did not enter that. Amazon. Look at how not clean this thing is. You keep pushing through R3, you have those wicks, but looks like it is ready for a pullback here. But I just don't like how this one had just been consolidating right here, so not as clean. What else? Volume bar not there. Let's look at our 15 here. Okay, volume bar is dying, but look at the 15 minutes. If the 5 minutes is telling you that looks like it's ready for a short, look at the higher time frame. Higher time frame is not even looking like it is done pushing up. The volume bar is there, but you haven't even created any red bar yet. So let's scan through. And before I do, oh my goodness. Yep, so you were saying earlier it's gonna lose this level, which it did, and it's at S4. So that is the level 118.89. SPY not doing a lot. Let's see. Yeah, for this one, is it due for reversal to the upside? Look at how clean the daily is. The daily still has a bunch of room here. You have the next support, you have the next support. So for this one, yeah, I wouldn't even try doing any reversal here to the upside. It can, but the risk and the probability, well, the probability of this working to your favor to the upside is so low because of the daily. It's not looking like it's ready for reversal to the upside. Nvidia just lost as well its S3, and Nvidia, CLSK pushing up. Dell is struggling at 72. Volume bar is there, not a lot though. 72. Yeah, what I don't like about Dell is look at how small this volume bar is when we got that push down. And then the volume bar here is, yeah, not as much as well. Wow. So this can just consolidate. So let's see here. This one as well. This one is a good short. Oh my. Good short is at 71.69. So let's see if it's still gonna pop to 79.69. 79, 71.69. Give me a pop to 71.69 and I will short. Let's see. Volume bar is not there. Not the A plus setup. It did had a rejection there. Looking at the tape here, are we getting some buyers? Did not get a follow through just like this. This one had a quick follow through. 71.40. So yeah, the time that I was analyzing this one was that 71.70 could be a good short, but that one was already a 50-cent spoof, so it already moved. So yeah, we kind of chase this one. Wow. So for the strategy that we have, even if you just focus on one stock, like this one, look at that. You have second top, rejection, third top, rejection. Oh my goodness, AMD, look at AMD here. That's why I was saying there's no point in doing any reversal here. Your daily is still looking so weak. All right, so rather than doing a FOMO here with AMD, let's do a recap. So for our recap, we traded 3 stocks today. First is Path. So good morning, everyone. It's December 1st, 2023, 10:23 in the afternoon. So we traded today for about 30 minutes, and yeah, we are done trading. So first trade that we did was Path. Path was looking strong at the open. So this is our setup here. We have a gap up, gap up. We are seeing the gap up. We are long bias on this. So what I saw here was we are heading above the VWAP, and we are about to create a new high of the day. That level right there is also the pre-market high. So pre-market high, I was calling it out that I'm not going to use this wick as a stop loss, but just below the VWAP because the wick is so long, I don't want to risk that much. So entered long, added to my position, cover. At the sign of reversal, I was all out, but looks like it's still heading there. So did have to leave a lot of money in the table, but that's how trading works. You cannot capture the whole move, but you can just, now it's creating new high of the day. You can just manage your position and still get profitable as long as the consistency is there. Next one is the Del Trade. So Del Trade is an A plus setup. This one now is a short. We have a gap down right here at the daily. So right at the open, we are short bias, pre-market high, pre-market low here, which is this. It created an opening range breakdown. I was not finished yet with my level, and I did not want to do any opening range breakdown just because opening range breakdown can be a home run, but also can give you a lot of risk because it can just go either direction as well. So I don't want to do any high risk there, but I would like to have a conservative move and a higher probability to be able to manage my risk as well as be consistent in being profitable. So this one is the high of the day. We tested the high of the day, created a double top. As soon as I saw this, almost like an inverted hammer, doji looking, I entered short below the body of that in the 5-minute setup. So entry, huge drop already. So I did not get to really maximize my share. But when I saw that it's struggling at the VWAP, I partial trailing my stop at the sign of reversal. I got some partial there and totally out when we created a new confirmation that this one is heading to the upside and heading a reversal there. So with that Dell, we got 540, and with the path we got 1700. And then for AMD is such a good trade supposedly if I did not get stopped out with the wick. We did had a news at 10. Powell was about to speak at that time, did not realize that it was 10 already. So at this point, what I saw with AMD was the daily did not want to enter AMD at the open just because the daily looks weak. The easy trade happened yesterday when you have that giveaway of that inverted hammer. So I was calling it out that I'm not going to be trading AMD unless it gives us an A+ setup. So I was short biased with AMD because of how it looks like. You have an inverted hammer 2 days ago, you have a big rejection yesterday, and it is heading lower, and you have that channel of lower low, lower high. So daily looks like this. So I would like to have an entry where my risk is low and probability for this one to go higher is high. So for this one looks like it's about to reverse if SPY is about to reverse, but we do have big orders sitting right here, so that cannot be 100% guaranteed. So AMD, you have a new high that it created at 121.2. As soon as we get that new high, it got rejected, created this inverted hammer. That is the signal that I was waiting for. So you get, a gap down, a pushed up, and you get this doji right here. Volume bar does not really tell you a lot, but this inverted hammer was the good flag already that this is ready for a short based from the higher time frame, which is the daily. So entered short, added to my position. I wanted to add more, but we had a huge drop already, so took some partial when it lost the VWAP. I have my trailing stop loss right here, and of course once we hit 10, Powell spoke and it just shook the market. At that time, SPY was shaken as well. So if we look at SPY at 10 is right here. SPY got a pushed up and then now a rejection. So some bunch of manipulation there, or some news there as well, some algorithm. But as a technical trader, I base my entry, my trade on the technical sense. So the news is just a bonus, but I got wicked out and got stopped out here, so left money in the table around almost $1 there. So not gonna be crying over spilled milk. It is still 3K profit there with just a 30 minutes trade and done for the day. So right now what I'll be doing is just scanning, and if you guys wanted for us to look into any stocks that you want us to analyze, feel free to do so. Just type it in the chat and we will be happy to look it up for you and try to give you our thoughts on those stocks. And for those of you who are new to the channel and would like to know how to begin with day trading, please check our website out. It's called ecourseunlocked.com, and with that website, let's move this one, you do have our day trading course as well as a real estate that is
health?
We're still working on
growth?
But with the day trading course, you have you can see here all our syllabus. So please check that one out. We have our trade recaps here that we
fulfillment, or
also update every week. And if you want to just see our free top strategy that you can download, 20 pages, our opening range breakout and breakdown, please feel free to click this link and you'll be able to download that free PDF file. So with that, I hope you guys had a green trading day. I'll be sticking around just looking for something to pop up, and if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to email us, and also feel free to comment on the chat what stocks do you want us to analyze so we can do that for you. With that, I hope you guys had an amazing day, and remember that it's a Friday, so you have to be extra careful with your trades, because you don't want to go into the weekend thinking about the trades that you did on Friday. You want to respect your stop loss. You want to just do the A plus setup, and yeah, you want to have a good weekend, that you're not gonna contemplate on could have, would have trade on a Friday. So with that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.